YouTube! My name is Sarah and welcome to the Bookish Knitter. Today I am coming to you with my Harlequin project. This is for week number 27. So I am tagging these with weeks now just so I can keep it straight in my own head. And this is kind of a redo, a revamp of how I was originally doing this project. So where do I even start? I've reshot the beginning of this video twice because I kept forgetting stuff. So I'm just going to go with it at this point and see what happens. So essentially, how I was doing the Harlequin project, in case you're new here, is I was borrowing these box sets from the library, which is fine. I love the library and I'm not discounting the library, and reading them. But I ran into a couple problems with that. Problem number one, I have shelves and shelves and shelves and shelves, one that you can't see, full of Harlequin / Mills and Boon category romance books. Some of them, there's a guilty party right there, are 3 sections deep. Like they're 3 deep of books. What I'm trying to say, guys, is I have a lot of category romance books. So why I'm borrowing from the library, I have no earthly idea. So what hit me this week was like, why aren't you reading them off your shelves, you silly girl? So that's what I'm doing now. Instead of borrowing these box sets, I am going to be reading off my shelves. And I'm super excited about this. So this is really going to give not only you, but me, of course, as the reader, a lot of variety. I'll be sharing some older books with you guys. That was part of my plan on sharing these anyway, to kind of bring some more of these books to the forefront if it's something that, you had never heard of, maybe older lines that are no longer around. So yeah, I'm super excited. The other thing, like I was saying, is that it's a variety thing. What I was noticing is that, I would read like 4 Presents books in a row or 3 heartwarming books in a row. And I was kind of like, okay, I'm kind of over this now. Like I found towards the end of reading the Presents books, because I don't read them as often, that I felt them a little bit of a slog to get through. Like the stories are great. The stories are different. But if you're reading that kind of thing back to back to back, it's like reading like 4 thrillers back to back to back. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you need a bit of a break. You need a palate cleanse, if you will, between some of those books. So that's what I was finding. So I think this is going to work a lot better. And the other thing that I'm doing right now is you're going to notice over the course of this summer, these shelves not moving themselves, but the books on the shelves, you're going to notice them moving because I have started recataloging these books. So this is something I did a couple of years ago, and I had a lot less books on my shelf at the time, and I need to redo it. And I wasn't going to try and figure out where I ended, because these are all like, there's no rhyme or reason to any. It's literally, if there was a spot to put a book, I was putting a book. And these need to be cleaned up, because not only do I need to clean up these shelves, but I need to purge, not my categories. I need to purge some of the ones that are on my non-category shelves, because the categories are the ones that I really want to work on as being my collection, my book collection, if you will. So this has been the week of the revamp or redo for me. And I'm, in terms of my reading, friends, in terms of my reading, nothing else in my life, don't worry. But I will talk about this tomorrow on my weekly reading video. I don't want to put too much into this video because I'm talking now about, how I'm redoing the Harlequin project. So I'll talk about kind of my reading redo. Sounds funny, doesn't it? Tomorrow. So yeah, I'm super excited about that. And yeah, I'm just, for the first time in a really long time with my reading, I'm feeling like really good about it. Does that sound weird? It probably sounds weird. Stay tuned tomorrow, friends. Stay tuned tomorrow. I know, now you're all like, thanks, Sarah, for giving us that teaser trailer. Now we gotta wait till tomorrow. Sorry. This is how I keep bringing you back to my videos, my friends. So anyway, let me talk about the 3 books that I've picked. So typically what happens when I do my weekly TBRs is that any books that I don't get to in that given week, I didn't get to it. It kind of gets put to the side. I will get to it again at some later date. I'm not too worried about it. With the Harlequin project books, I'm going to allow them to carry over week to week, which is what I was doing before. I wouldn't necessarily finish a box set in a week. It might take me 2, even 3 weeks. And I was fine with that. So I'm picking 3 books every week. And I'm just going to work my way through them. And, if these start carrying over into next week, it's fine. I'll still pick 3 books next week. And then I'll just add them to the list and I'll just work my way through the list. And I'm super excited. Super, super excited. So let's get started. So the first book that I have here is actually for the Retro Romance Readathon. This is a readathon that was created by the amazing Storm over at Storm Reads. And she asked me graciously to be a co-host. This is the second year, I think, that she's done it. She did it in February of 2022. I don't think I co-hosted then. I think I volunteered myself as a tribute when she did the July version of this last year. And then this February, I did co-host officially, and I'm co-hosting again now. So this is like Christmas in July. So there are 3 prompts because the readathon itself technically only lasts a week. It goes from July the 9th through July 16th. So Storm's birthday is in between there, which is why she did it. Ingenious. And like I said, Christmas in July, and there's 3 prompts. So one of the prompts is a book with snow on the cover. One is a cowboy romance, and the third is a Christmas book. So my goal is to read 1 book for each prompt each week, and then on the 4th week, pick a book that encompasses all 3. So essentially a Christmas cowboy romance with snow on the cover. That's my plan. So the first book for this week is the one that has snow on the cover. I came across this one as I was, cataloging my books, and I've had this one on my shelf for a while, and I'd forgotten. This is part of the prompts that I forget I even get these things. And I'm so excited about getting to this one. So we have Jo's Girl by Margaret St. George. This is a Harlequin American romance novel, and it's the 4th and final book in the Fortune Cookie series. Sounds absolutely delightful. So this is Harlequin American Romance number 710, original publication date of January of 1998. We consider retro romance to be anything that is prior to 2003. So a book that's 20 years old or more. So that's what we're considering retro. But yeah, the Fortune Cookie series. So this is, I didn't realize this until I wanted to get some information on these books for you guys when I sit down here to share that with you. So it's kind of a Harlequin history, sharing books with you. These videos and my Harlequin Project videos are now going to always be on Fridays. Kind of a little fun, category romance video for you guys. This is an ingenious idea from Harlequin in my personal opinion. So I think that these are just, they're not connected necessarily. Not like, it's like about 4 friends or something like that. I just think it all has to do with some sort of a fortune or fortune cookie thing. But from the marketing department of Harlequin, ingenious, because the 4 books span 4 different lines. So the first one was part of the super romance line, the second was part of the temptation line, and the third was part of the intrigue line, and book number 4 here, the American romance line. So like if you were someone who only read like super romance and American romance, and to get the other 2 books for those people who would be like serious completionists who wanted to read all the books, you now had to pick up a temptation or an intrigue, and that might not have been a line that you picked up before, and you're like, oh, hey, I really like this. So again, ingenious on behalf of Harlequin's marketing department back then. So yeah, let me share with you what this book is about. Jo Townsend had fallen in love with Molly Stevens in Miss Paulson's 8th grade English class when she was the most beautiful girl in school. Over the last 15 years, he's watched her, in magazines and on TV, become the most beautiful woman in the world. Molly had always been part of his fantasies, but now she was back. Jo had watched Molly live the high life until her career went bust. She'd been America's sweetheart, but now all he wanted her to be was Jo's girl. But what would happen when she was tired of potluck suppers and mountain nights under the stars, and the big city lights beckoned? So yeah, sounds delightful. Oh, I love that cover. So like I said, this is the one with snow on the cover. There's some snow, but it doesn't take place at Christmas time, which is fun. So yeah. Anyway, the second book is a more recent release, and this is Her Amish Protectors by Janice K. Johnson, but this is what I was calling back in Amish in April as an Amish adjacent book. Neither of our our lead characters are Amish themselves, but it takes place maybe in Amish country, or maybe one of them is Amish. I'm not sure. So this is Harlequin Super Romance number 2084, and its original publication date was June of 2017, and this is book number 2 in the Missouri Amish series. Oh, side note, my friends, sorry, I meant to mention this. This book is available as an ebook. If you look on Kindle, you will see this as an ebook. It's got, like, when you look at the picture, it's not just this image. Going around it is more red, and it says Harlequin Treasury Best of the 1990s. So it's like $3.99 Canadian if you wanted to read this. So that's kind of also like, I wanted to share that with you guys. You know, if you hear about a book that I mentioned, you're like, oh, now I've got to hunt it out. This is available as an ebook. This one is also available as an ebook. So yeah, I am excited about this one. Like I said, book 2 in the Missouri Amish series. So let me read the back of this one for you guys. The caring community of her Missouri small town was healing for Nadia's wounded spirit, until someone broke into her apartment above her Amish quilt shop and robbed her while she was sleeping. The thief made off with all the funds she just raised through the sale of her neighbor's handmade quilts, and Police Chief Ben Slater can't rule her out as a prime suspect. Only her Amish friends are willing to give her the benefit of the doubt. People are angry enough to even target her with violence. But while Ben might not trust her, he's committed to protecting her, confusing her feelings for this man who's pulling her apart. So neither one of the main characters in this is Amish, but it takes place in an Amish community. I really love the premise of this one. It sounds so good. Again, these were picked, I don't know if I mentioned that, literally at random. I did not cherry pick these from my shelves. I am loading these all onto a tag, if you will, on Goodreads. That's called Unread Harlequin Shelf or something like that. Own Unread Harlequin Shelf is what I'm calling it. So I own these books. They are not read, and they are sitting physically on a Harlequin shelf. So there is an option on Goodreads to sort the books randomly, and that's literally what I did. Except for this one was cherry-picked because I saw it when I was putting other stuff away, and I'm like, that'll be perfect for retro romance. But the other two, what I did was I just sorted that shelf at random, and then this book came up, and then I just hit refresh on the page, and the next book came up. So that's how I picked the books. So that way I am not like favoring certain books and what have you. The only stipulation I have to myself is that I can't read 2 books of the same line in a week. So for example, I couldn't read 2 super romances this week or 2 American romances this week. You know what I mean? Like I tried to pick a book from 3 different lines, if you will. So yeah, so that is book number 2. And book the 3rd is a much more recent release. We have one of my favorite covers. I love this cover so much. And this is Wyoming Matchmaker by Melissa Sennett. Look at that, you guys. Isn't that gorgeous? Absolutely gorgeous. This is Harlequin Special Edition number 2829. Publication date April of 2021. And this is book number 6 in the Dawson Family Ranch series. So those of you who need to read books in order are probably twitching at the fact that all 3 of these books are not first in series. I don't have time for that. If I want to get through these books that I own, I'm going to have to read out of order, and it doesn't matter anyway, because it's not like I'm going to get to book 1 even this year. It could be years from now. I might not even have it on my shelves. I don't know. I don't know. It's a thing. So yeah, like I said, much more recent release. I am looking forward to this one. And it says, real estate whiz Danica Dunbar's scheme to solve Bear Ridge's female-to-male ratio problem is brilliant. Set up single ladies with eligible bachelors and sell property in the process. And police detective Ford Dawson is the ideal bait. But the sexy cowboy helps her care for her baby niece and presses all her romantic buttons. Danica wonders if Ford's perfect future bride is her. Sounds delightful. Her business for creating happily ever afters, not falling for her most attractive client. Sounds so fun. Oh my gosh. I love Melissa Sennett's writing. And you guys know I love the super romance line. So I am very, very much looking forward to this one. So yeah. So there are the first 3 books for the Revamp Harlequin project. Again, all 3 of them are available on ebook if you want to hunt them out yourself. Or if you really wanted a physical copy of one, you can go on Thrift Books. I'm sure you can find them. And yeah, so anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Please let me know in the comment section below. Have you actually read any of these 3 books that I just mentioned? Do any of them sound good to you? Any that you might pick up as well? I encourage that. I've mentioned it before. I'm happy to open a thread on my Discord group. For those of you who are following along, there is already a Harlequin Mills and Boone thread. So any of these books that you finish, you can post there. Just let me know. And, we can talk about these separately. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. And stay tuned tomorrow, like I said, for me chatting a little bit about my reading redo, my reading reset. I'm actually going to be filming that video next. And yeah, guys, take care and happy reading. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye, guys.